Friday, everybody. This is our weekly driver meeting, our driver dinner, driver roundtable. It's been called a number of things over the years. So what we usually do on Friday nights is we welcome any of the new hires and existing drivers that might be in the yard that can join us, staff members that might want to spend 30-45 minutes with us, and we kind of go over some of the new and upcoming things in the company, industry changes, things that directly impact us, and then allow you guys to ask questions, anything that you might have that you want to bring to the table. So I've got a few things on my agenda. I'll start with the fun things. December is slip, trips, and falls for our safety campaign. And for the month of December, if you were to buy and invest in a new pair of slip-resistant shoes and submit the receipt to us, the company will reimburse you $50 towards your purchase. All you have to do is transflow the receipt in, and they'll put the reimbursement on your next payroll check. So it could be for just a shoe, it could be for a boot, but our request is that they're slip resistant for the winter months. Reefer, glass, heavy haul, everybody could benefit by having those on hand. So don't forget about that. We have a few short business days left for you to do shopping and get those turned into us. Our driver referral bonus is currently at $2,000. That gets paid to you in one lump sum 30 days after your referral's date of hire. So with you guys being our best advertisement out there over the road, at the truck stops, people you come across, definitely exchange names, let them know to call us. We use you as a referral, and if they get hired 30 days afterwards, you're $2,000 richer. So everybody can use that, especially around this time of year. For the Christmas holiday, we are going to do our very, very best to get everybody where they want to be for their home time. There are some drivers that are opting to stay out over the holiday, and if in fact you are not home for Christmas, we are allowing for a $30 reimbursement for you to have a meal. Again, just keep a hold of your receipt, send it in to us, and we'll get you reimbursed for that expense. Everybody wants to be home for Christmas this year, so we're really working hard at making it happen. There's a few people that have their other halves with them, so they're okay with running through the holiday. But we know that even if you don't have the holiday requested off, if a load gets you through the house, you'd rather be home than spending money out of pocket at a truck stop. So the girls, well, myself and April are doing everything we can for the glass fleet. I know that Heavy Haul and Commodities and Black Bull are also working really hard to get everybody where they need to be next week. Csa Scores. So this is an ongoing battle that we are having, and our Csa Scores are continuously rising. Blackwell themselves just crossed over the threshold for hours of service compliance. So the one interesting thing I found is that not many people know what falls under each of the categories for the Csa Scores. Can anybody give me one example of unsafe driving? What falls under that category?
Taxing.
I'm sorry?
Taxing.
Speeding, yep. Texting, I would say texting would fall into that too if you're using a mobile device. Yep. Seat belts, unsafe lane changes, speeding, all those things fall under the unsafe driving. Driver fitness. It is not if you are overweight. What falls under the categories of driver fitness? Anybody?
Valid medical card.
Correct. Anything else? Anybody? License, yes. It also includes any hearing devices or eyeglasses that you are prescribed to wear and it is on your license, and if you're not using them properly, if there's no batteries in them or if you're not wearing them, those are other violations. And let's see, glasses, expired CDL and license, fatigue driving, those are all under that category. Crash is another category. Anybody know what that is? I mean, it might sound pretty self-explanatory, but those are DOT reportable accidents. So anything that we have to report to the DOT for the incident considers us under the crash category. And even though it's preventable or not preventable, if we have to report it, it affects our CSA. Vehicle maintenance. Come on now, that's a biggie.
Luckily, I don't have to deal with that as much, but those that have to drop and hook are supposed to check the vehicle to take him.
Yep.
True. And also load securement is another one under vehicle maintenance that you will get dinged for if you don't have the proper amount of securement straps, chains, stopping forward, backward motion. All of those can affect that score as well. So, and then of course controlled substances, but that's pretty much a given. However, I do want to make sure everybody knows that hemp cigarettes are also considered a controlled substance. We are not allowed to partake in that extracurricular while we are a CDL driver and actually driving a truck. That happened. We had a driver have one while he was driving down the road and got pulled over for an inspection. So anyways, those things, you know, we really, as we continue on, as time passes, we will have points drop off, but our goal is to not add more to it prior to those points dropping off. We need to be underneath the threshold that DOT and CSA set. A lot of times our contracts, our shippers, the manufacturers that we haul for, expect a certain standard of CSA scores, and it needs to be satisfactory or above. Right now, on some categories, we are under satisfactory, which could penalize us. They could pull business from us. So we need you guys to all do your part in maintaining those CSA scores and keeping an eye on your vehicle maintenance, getting your services done, the DOT issues, your brakes, wheel seals, all of those things, lights, all of it.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Getting back to, because I have done dry boxes before. Is there a way of checking to see who is not and who's leaving bad equipment behind for the next driver?
So, fun fact, we have post-trip inspections that we expect the drivers to do when they're dropping a piece of equipment. We used to have a paper form that you would go through, just fill it out, tarps are good, brakes, landing gear, the whole 9 yards, reefer fuel, you know, all of that. And then you would take a picture of it, transflow it in, basically stating that you're dropping the trailer in the same condition that you would want to pick it up at. Some drivers have gotten away from that, and so my encouragement to my fleet, and I don't know if all the dispatchers or the division managers are doing the same, is that if you pick a trailer up, and Jack, he's experienced this before, he'll pick a trailer up and there's some maintenance issues that he has to do it. Then we'll track who's had that trailer, see if they've submitted a post-trip inspection form, and then have a conversation with them. If they don't turn in a post-trip, there's no way they can vindicate themselves that they left that trailer in good condition. So that's what I do for my fleet, and we've gotten a little bit away from it because there's only 2 of us right now with as many drivers as we have. But that's one good way that we can keep track of it. I know Csa, they have visibility if the PMs and the services aren't being done in a timely manner. OTR and fleet are really working at making sure they get in touch with those drivers and get them done. But if you came across a trailer that had issues like that and you had some downtime getting them fixed before you could use it, I'd definitely let somebody know.
Yeah. It's basically to cover
Okay.
details, because I've seen too many times where you've had people that million miler, no problems. That's because they never checked and left the garbage when they were done with it.
Yeah, I've noticed too, you know, back in the day, we used to have assigned trailers. All of our drivers pretty much kept the same trailer behind them at all times. Well, in my division, I found that it was tying dispatch's hands to maximize the driver's miles, because with our 2 different pieces of equipment, the manufacturers would be needing a certain type of equipment due to the production they were running. So we got to where we asked the drivers not to be married to their trailers, and then we really found the drop and hook process to be real timely in maintenance issues that needed to be addressed. So I think that we've gotten better. We still have some work to do, I think, in all fleets for washouts, reefer fuel, tarps in my case, bad straps, equipment to that effect. So, but that would be me. I mean, we can't fix it if you don't bring it to our attention. I've had some drivers spend a lot of downtime in the shops, and then a month or two later, they're like, you know what I had to do when you gave me the last trailer, and I couldn't fix it for him. So
You're on the other end of the line.
yeah, so definitely communicate that. I think that you'll be received real well if you shared your concerns. So fleet renewal is coming up for the entire company by December 31st. And we do have a grace period until March. I believe it's the 1st of March to get all of your new licensing in your trucks. So as you're coming through driver services or through the yard, in years past, and I believe it's going to be the same way this year, we're going to have your truck number on the outside of an envelope. Everything that you need for the new renewal will be in that envelope. Just come through, sign it that you've received it, and take it, and you're good to go. For the OTR drivers, typically what we've done in the past is we'll group together. Say there's a lot of drivers that frequent the glass plant, Wichita Falls. We'll group an envelope together, send it out to my guy, and then as they're going through, he can disperse them to the drivers and get them signed off. But that'll be coming up here, in the next couple weeks. We're gonna be getting them out to you. If you've got home time scheduled, we can always mail it to you, but we wanna make sure that we get that to you on or before March 1st at the latest. Okay, did I cover everything with that you know? Okay.
The licensing came in today, I gave it to Dan right here.
Oh, perfect.
Please put them on, put your stickers on your tag, put your IFTA stickers on your truck, put your registration in your book, please. Don't. Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because, along with the Csa Scores are drivers that aren't making sure that they have the paper copy of their updated DOT for their truck and trailer with them. Sometimes the stickers don't get put on, sometimes they come off, but if you gotta have that paper copy at least on hand. So if you don't have it and you need it, driver services can get it to you, dispatch can help, whatever you need, we can make it work. But like Randy said, don't just have the envelope and lose it and then not have what you need. Just as soon as you get it, put on what you've got, what you need, and put everything where it goes so that you've got it and we don't have to get your replacements. So I did things a little bit backwards. I didn't introduce everybody and go around the room, so I figured I'll go ahead and start. My name's Chris Clark. I am the glass division manager. I've been here for 21 years, and pretty much all I've done is glass. Recently, our dispatch team has now gone to 2 people. I have April, who handles Midwest, East Coast, and then I'm currently handling the West Coast. So for my fleet in particular, please be patient with us while we're working through the challenges of all the day-to-day tasks, and there only being us. Especially with the holidays, we may take a little bit longer to get back to you guys, but before the end of the day, we will absolutely make calls. What I've been finding is a driver will call me and leave me a voicemail and then turn around and call April. So at the end of the day, I've got 36 voicemails and I'm calling everybody back and they're like, oh, April called me back, we're fine. Or I emailed April. It's fine with me, but just know that we're doing the best we can to get through. There'll only be 2 of us. So that's my story. We will give photo and video credit to Luis. He's sitting behind the scenes. And then how about you back there?
I'm Richard Gibbons Senior, I'm heavy haul division, doing the 5-axle.
Oh, okay. I've heard your name mentioned, so.
Oh.
No, it's all been good. Okay, and our new member?
My name is Angel Valdez. I'm from Fresno, California, and this is my orientation week.
So you're here for Blackwell, right?
Yeah, Blackwell.
Okay, and then what are you doing for Blackwell, just I-5 or?
It's gonna be, Reefer West, I believe.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, well, welcome, and then you're gonna come to Glass, so I'm sure Roger will watch us at some point and get upset because I'm actively recruiting,
Okay.
even if it's a year away, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
that's my goal.
Okay, and then behind you?
I'm Richard Mann, driver supervisor, been here, 10, 12 years, somewhere around there.
Collectively all together?
Yeah, and, I worked in Glass, and I was a coach for Glass for quite a bit of that time. And, I'm upstairs now.
Thanks for joining tonight, sir, and your better half.
I'm Jack Midgley, this is my better half, Csa. What am I, Kingsburg dedicated? Yeah, I'm just troublesome to the glass department. There we go.
No, actually, Jack
And
and
it's a
I.
Bones Day, too.
It's a Bones Day. I did not know what It's a Bones Day meant. I had to ask April, and evidently it's a TikTok thing,
Yes,
Yes.
little pug.
a little
A
pug on
13-year-old
TikTok.
pug.
And so anyways, I always consider it a good day when I learn something new, whether it's class related or TikTok related, so.
Like I say, I am the problem child.
Jack was willing to give up a sacrifice too, just so that the freight gods would be happy and shine down on us this last week because it's been a little inconsistent. However, it wasn't necessary. We did fairly well at the end of the week and came out ahead, so.
My name is Frank and I do maintenance and custodian.
Thanks for joining us, Frank.
I'm George. I'm Dennis. I'm the facility manager.
He's our go-to for everything that is needed and good.
I'm Shayna, I run the shop, I've been here for 6 years now, and I really like it.
Well, we like having you.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I was gonna be George too, but darn it.
I should have this way.
My name's Randy and I do flatbed training, and some other things. I've been here 19 years, something like that, so. I'm glad to be here as well.
So that is our group tonight. You know, the only other thing I can really stress upon everybody is the winter driving piece. You know, our goal as a company for all of you out over the road is your safety and everybody's safety around you first and foremost. If chains are required, you know, that's our goal, is to continue to get you moving down the road. You know, my preference wouldn't be that you are at home in Grants Pass and say, yeah, I'm gonna stay here until they don't require chains anymore. I'll let you know when I'm gonna deliver. You know, our goal is to get the deliveries there on time. However, safety first. So if you have questions about routing, if you have questions about your winter gear, if you need replacement chains, please always make sure that you have those on hand. I believe that we are currently required to have them on the trucks until March. Is it March?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got another 3 full months that we need to make sure that we have the proper
Colorado's
chains.
April.
It-
Colorado's May.
Yeah, I do, and especially for them. In certain areas, it is extended a little further, but for the most part, I believe it's March, April, right around there. So double check your chains, make sure you've got them, especially when you're coming through the yard. We can get them taken care of for you. Because when you get out there in the middle of a snowstorm, it's gonna be really hard to find them at any truck stop because everybody's probably going and wiping them out. So just check your gear and be safe. Anybody have anything to contribute to tonight? Going once?
Only
As
once.
far as chains go, if they haven't-
Anything?
If they haven't taken them off and looked at them yet, make sure their chains are good before they get into a bad area. Make sure they go through it all,
Make sure they
it's good.
fit.
They fit, there's no twists in them, cause if you're doing it with frozen hands in 2 foot of snow, it's a whole lot worse than doing it in a dry parking lot to make sure they're there,
Right.
so.
Well, and then, you know, this last week, it seems like somebody pissed Mother Nature off. I mean, we were dealing with wildfires in Texas this week that closed down Highway 287, which is a major road for us to take. Then we had the Kentucky tornadoes. Then we also had major snows in Arkansas, and then, of course, what we've experienced all the way from Tehachapi in Southern California, all the way into Washington, and Alberta,
And then Wyoming,
and Wyoming.
yeah.
It was horrible. We had drivers coming across there as well. So I think it's happened, it started, they always give us a little teaser, then they give us nice blue sky like today, and then they'll hit us hard again in a week or so.
The other,
And
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna make another suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Rain gear makes a world of difference when you're putting chains on, cause then you have a plastic layer between you and that snow and frozen.
I would imagine rain gear and an extra pair of boots or something, and some dry footwear to put on, so that when you get back in the truck, I mean, at least you can shut off the cold and start warming up.
With rain gear, it saved my tail quite a few times.
Oh yeah, nothing's more miserable than getting back in the truck wet and then having to take off still just wet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Rich.
The other thing I was gonna say, I've been dealing with it for the last couple of days, is there's been really heavy winds and, like Colorado, Wyoming, things like that. If you're gonna bobtail home, like if you have a secure place to put your trailer and you're bobtailing home for your time off, if you can help it, stay hooked and have somebody give you a ride, because I've had to pick up more than one trailer that's been on its side from the wind.
Well, and, you know, truth be told, we would prefer as a company, because I believe it's in the driver handbook for all drivers, that if you're gonna drop your trailer, you just call into driver services or dispatch first. Because, you know, during the summer months, the asphalt, it gets soft, and if you drop a loaded trailer, your landing gear could sink if you don't properly block it. Even when it's been blocked, we've had incidents. During the winter months, it's rain and snow, it can sink. I saw a guy down the road from the White House, the mud was up to his driver's side door because he tried to turn around and he just made himself a huge old ditch. So a good rule of thumb before you ever drop your trailer is to call in and get approval so that everybody's on the same page.
There is another one that I've ran into recently.
What's that?
The new drivers are not being taught, don't, set your trailer brakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Too many of them freezing up.
Freezing
Yeah,
up.
if you set your trailer brakes in
We went over
the,
that today.
you're not gonna be able to move in the morning.
yeah, those are, you know, definitely things, that maybe the coaches should be talking about and things like that.
We went over that today too.
Hmm?
We went over that today.
Oh, did you address that?
Yeah.
I've recently pulled, I carry a shovel on my truck, on a trailer, for winter. And I recently dug a guy out that not only did he have too light a load for his drives, but his trailer wheel, was locked up.
So thankfully you came along and were able to at least maybe give him a little assistance.
And remind him that, and remind a lot of people that we're not out here by ourselves, believe it or not.
Well, and I think that kind of sets us out a little bit different than some of the other carriers, whether it's specialized for glass or just van carrier companies, is we are pretty close knit, and you know it's a really rare occasion that you would come across another combined or black hole driver, and them not be willing to assist you.
Well, this was not an.
It wasn't even a combined driver, huh?
No. Well, I did have ulterior motive. I mean, I couldn't get out before he was parked. But, the idea that he was stuck by himself, trying to dig himself out of this place he got into. He eventually had to, find somebody to take his drive off, his front, outside drive off, so he could get the chains out from between them. That's how badly he got stuck.
Wow.
You know.
Huh.
But just being there, and it's been my little project where, hey, we're not here by ourselves, despite what you might believe.
Yeah, we're all here for the same reason.
We're all out here to make money, but we're supposed to be helping
Right.
each other too.
Well, that being said, I do have one more thing and then I will let everybody go. It's two-part actually. When you submit your time off requests over your OBC, as well as PTO cash out over your OBC, just do a check and balance and call in to make sure that it's been processed. You know, we've got so many new people in driver services right now. What we don't want is for there to be an extended period of time and it not be approved, and then us not be able to facilitate the time off for you. As well as your PTO. You know, if I had a driver call up, said that he hadn't gotten a response on a cash out for PTO. For somehow it didn't go through. It wasn't received. But we were able to fix it because he called and said, hey, I just want to verify. So whenever you put in time off or you want to do anything like that over your OBC, just call dispatch and ask them to verify that it got submitted, so that we're all working towards getting you where you need to be when you want to be there. Along with that is we also have some new people in our payroll department. And we've done some adjustments, TARP adjustments, momentum pay, base pay for different fleets. Double check your statements and cross-reference what you know you did in that pay period to what you're getting paid on your face sheet. Because what I'd prefer to do is reconcile in real time than somebody coming up 6 months later saying, I didn't get paid for that load 6 months ago from my TARP. And then I have to go through and do all this research and try and figure out and pull up the dispatches. So if you just check and balance what you get paid for what you know you did on the loads, it's a lot easier for us to reconcile those things in the here and now than it is months and months later. So, okay. Anything to you? You have anything to add, Angel?
No, I have something. This was a good week, and I'm happy to be part of this family now, because it does feel like a family. Everybody's nice. Everybody's been super cool that I met that's been here at Combined, and it's a blessing. It really is, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Did you come from one of the schools, or did you come from another trucking company?
No, well, RGW in Fresno, California.
Oh, okay.
It's through West Hills College.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's not even one that we had traveled to, you just saw us and applied?
One of your workers went over there too. He's like 4 years out of school from over there. He's been with you guys.
Okay.
And I think he works for you, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, and he talked to my instructor one day. My instructor mentioned you guys and said nothing but good things. So when I went home that day, I believe it was on the 1st of November, the day I had caught COVID that day.
Oh, shoot.
I remember. That's how I remember.
Right.
I called you guys, and I was already like determined to get out here.
Good. Well, I think you'll be real happy. The Blackwell fleet manager is a real great guy. He's got a great group of dispatchers and salespeople. So I think you'll be real pleased starting out. And the coaches, my understanding, all the coaches are real patient and real easy to work with. So I think you'll get a lot out of them. So welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, if anybody else doesn't have anything, then I am ready to conclude our Friday meeting.
And it's the last meeting of the year, so Merry Christmas and
It
Happy New Year.
is?
It is, you got the last one.
Oh, now I know I wish I should have been better.
You're